Oh my god.
The problem is when you burn too many bridges, and I mean, I don't know the guy. I met the guy 2 times. I've always done business with Pat introduced me to him, whatever. I heard he has a lot of enemies, so I don't know who he's going to get to work for him. But you know what? Money talks, so who knows?
He has a ton of enemies, and people will not bend at his show because he's pissed off too many people.
Well, look.
Don't forget, you also need talent to come wrestle too.
Well, again, it's money talks, bullshit walks. So you got to see what happens.
Exactly. His money's green, just like everybody else's.
Yep, and
yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're waiting for a check to cash or to clear. You get paid cash. You'll wrestle. And I've seen a lot of people who were not fans of certain promoters, but they were always taken care of, and so they always went back. So.
And you don't even have to. You don't even have to interact with them, Kev. I can't tell you how many times we've had guys come in, and I don't even get it. I say hello to them, and that's it. I don't see them the rest of the. Jake will go over the match with them, whoever he's the wrestling.
Yep.
You see me running around, so I mean, you don't really need to interact with anybody.
Well, that's your fault.
There was a guy, Kev.
That's
you
your
don't
fault.
know this guy. Hold on a minute. There was a guy, and I don't know the excuse me, my back's so tight. I don't know what you call the guy that won't leave his house. He's scared to leave his house. What is that noise?
That sounds like Richie.
There was a promoter that wouldn't leave his house. His name is Carmine Sabathia, or whatever his name was, and he would have other people run his shows. So the promoter didn't even have to show up.
Yeah,
he had an phobia. I forgot the name of the phobia, but he was scared to leave his house.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Yeah, this is going back maybe about 10 years ago, 12 years ago.
JT goes homophobia? No, I don't think that's it.
No. I forgot the name. It's not homophobia.
I know he covers this.
Do you know where the taping promoter is?
Oh, God. Only thing I heard was promoter of the year out of that. What'd you say, Joe?
Kev, do you know where you're going to be? You're going to be in the same spot as last year?
Yeah, we're supposed to be in the outside corridor. We have five tables and eight guests.
Jeez, 5 tables, my God.
Yeah, we have WWE Hall of Famer Bob Orton. We have both members of the Killer Bees, Brunzell and Blair, Chelsea Diamond, TNA's Eric Young, Barbie Hayden, Amber O'Neal, and Nyla Rose.
You're going to clean up with the Killer Bees.
I hope so. I mean, we're going to clean up with Orton, too. He hasn't been in New York in 5 years.
Yeah, well, I hope you get your sitting near the Iron Sheik. That'd be a nice little picture together.
You say go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But knowing them, Sheik will be, his own room by himself because Sheik's hard to handle. So I've worked with Sheik with Sims, and he's hard. So you have to spell out every person's name. Like if it wanted to be personalized, you have to spell out the person's name. Like you would have to spell it to him, like RICHIE.
Yeah.
You would have to personally spell it out. Or if they just wanted to sign, and you got to tell them you got to sign your name.
Well,
sign name Iron Sheik, and if they wanted it signed Colonel Mustafa, you have to spell out Colonel Mustafa to him.
Well, unfortunately, he's one of those old school guys that took a lot of shots to the head and pre all his concussion studies, and unfortunately.
Somebody should bring in Johnny Rods and have me and him sign autographs together.
That's your buddy.
That's your best friend. I was just going to say, Joe, hook that up.
I can bring him. You want to bring him in? I'll give him a phone call.
Can you imagine me and him sitting next to each other?
I think that'd be great.
Oh God.
I think that'd be a fun time. So, all right, let's.
We get up and leave.
Yeah.
Getting back to the location, I have no idea where we're going to end up being that day. We could end up being in the same spot. We could end up sitting across from KNS. That's because we're doing that. KNS and I are doing that dollhouse photo op.
Yes.
When will you find out, Lizzie? I have not. I won't know until the night before.
I put out two separate feelers out there to Brian and Tommy, the guys who run it, that if they wanted to do anything with Bob, well, I was telling you too, if you guys want to do anything with Bob and Paul Orndorff, kind of the 2/3 of the Piper's Pit.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Bob and there was somebody else. Yeah, Bob and Iron Sheik, but I mean, there was many guys out there that some, a lot of old timers like Orndorff and Orton and Sheik that you can kind of like partner them with pictures, because the old school Survivor Series were so like cool like that they used to take all the all the heels together were on one team, and it's not stupid like it is now.
And then also, so if I'm sitting across from T-Mark, and I may end up doing the Pretty Wonderful photo op with him, with Orndorff and Paul Roma.
Paul Roma.
Oh, he's going to be there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that, WCW days, wasn't it?
Yeah, WCW, 93, 94.
Oh, God.
That's the only years I ever watched WCW, 93 and 94.
Well, yeah, I mean, it became like crazy after a while. It was like, all right, guys were starting to defect from WWE to WCW, which, all right, fine, whatever. Again, we said money talks, bullshit walks. But it was like, okay, you walked in the front door. Oh, you're used to be affiliated with WWE? Cool. All right, here's a guaranteed paycheck and an NWO shirt. See you later.
Yep, absolutely.
I was like, what? Like, everybody in the NWO was like some sort of affiliation with WWE like the year before. It's like, give me a break.
Yeah, they got boring after a while.
It got crazy.
The Hall of Fame.
It was bad. Come on, they were cutting promos. There was 30 guys in the freaking ring. It looked like a Royal Rumble. Like, you can't.
I agree. I think it was good when it started. But it got extremely stupid after a while.
Well, if they would have left it with the three of them, I think they could have even took out like Ted DiBiase as like their advisor because of the money and keep that gimmick going.
Pac was fine, even though I can't stand him. But when you started putting Scotty Riggs and Mike Rotundo and guys like that, it was kind of
because
like,
they had no spot for these guys. Like Bryan Adams, they had no spots for these guys. Bruce Beefcake, they just kept stuffing names.
Oh, come on.
They just kept stuffing names in shirts. And it was just like, all right. Then it got too big, like ridiculous, and it got boring. Then they're like, oh, let's make a wolf pack. And then it was the LWO and the BWO, and I was like, oh my God.
It got too out of hand.
It did. But you know what? The original idea was great. It just got too big. It got too big too fast, and they ran out of ideas too quickly.
Then you had Sting, DDP, and Goldberg.
Yeah.
Neutral.
Yeah, and then you had like 4 guys that weren't in the NWO. So it was like 45 on 5. It got ridiculous. And then Luger joined the Wolfpack, so you lost him. And
Sting did join the Wolfpack.
Sting. Yeah. I think the only member that didn't jump sides was with Flair.
I think you're right.
I think he's the only one that didn't wear an NWO shirt. It was like ridiculous. And then then Big Man brought them back. You remember he wanted to inject poison into WWE and blah blah blah. And that ran its course for like what, a year?
The invasion.
And then Hogan fought.
Not even.
Like Hogan fought Rock.
After Mania, that was it.
That was it because
it ran out of steam, and then it turned into McMahon Hogan.
Yeah, which of course.
And then turned into that disastrous gimmick of Mr. America. Oh God!
Come on, but that was funny. That was funny.
What?
That was funny to Mr. America when Hogan got fired, but he came back under a mask as Mr. America.
Yeah.
That was funny because it was so ridiculous. It was funny, and then the lie detector test.
Ridiculously stupid.
It was funny. It was slapstick
I
humor.
remember the lie detector test.
The lie detector test was hilarious.
Yeah.
They
that's
basically, they basically asked like McMahon if he masturbates to Sable, and he was like no, and it was like. Brr.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was funny. All right, guys, let me run. I got some things I got to do.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Thanks for having me on. Bye-bye.
You got it.
Oh, man. Classic Joey B.
Love it. Gotta love it. Let's see.
But I'm actually going to hop off myself because I'm trying to stuff my face while I'm multitasking, so I was waiting for somebody to cut the cord.
All right, we're cutting off anyway. It's time to eat some dinner. Get ready for Fastlane.
Enjoy the pay-per-view, everybody. Kat, thanks again for having me on. And JT, I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Damn right you will. I'm not selling your merchandise anymore.
Listen, I won't have any merchandise there to sell other than talent.
Joey B told you to bring
Dan
some.
Yeah, Joey said
Dan
bring
will
some.
be there anyway because Dan will be there anyway, and he takes all my sales anyway. No offense. Sorry, Dan.
No, they got UWA Elite that night.
Oh, they're not going to be there?
No.
You better bring your figures.
You won't be there because Cowboy Bob Orton is going to UWA Elite that night.
I got to get a hold of Dan because I've been trying to get a hold of. He has figures that I want. He has a Brook figure. He has Orndorff figures. I've been calling him, texting him. He hasn't gotten back to me. He's going to be a big event, though, right?
Yeah, he'll be with me.
Okay.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All righty. Sounds good, guys. Thanks again for having me on.
See you later, Richie.
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
This is the hardcore icon, Just Incredible, and you're listening to Damage 365 Radio. Now that's not just the coolest, that's not just the best. Damage 365 Radio, now that's just incredible.
Wrestling Superstore, selling wrestling memorabilia from all around the world, including WWE, TNA, Japan, Mexico, and the very best of the independents. They've got action figures, DVDs, autographed memorabilia, t-shirts, and more. Plus, stop in and get tickets for great promotions like UWA Elite, CZW, and many others. Located indoors at the world-famous English Town Flea Market, Green Building, booth number 35 on 90 Wilson Avenue, Manalapan Township, New Jersey. Open every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Log on to Facebook.com/Funkenstein Inc. for more information.
Join Brandon Lewis and Christopher Scythe Bracey every Tuesday night on YouTube.com/2KW at 8:30 p.m. as they bring you the matches and moments that make 2KW Pro the heart of New York City. 2KW Pro, your company, your wrestling.
This is Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and you're listening to Damaged Radio 365. Yeah, baby!
The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and again, special thanks to two callers today, Richie Di Gregorio of RDP Promotions. Check him out on Facebook, and Joe Bellini, the president of Warriors of Wrestling. Check him out on Facebook as well, and warriorsofwrestling.com, especially with that upcoming March 5th show. Get some tickets now. As you said, the front row will be selling out probably by the end of the week, so get those tickets definitely now. We're going to go with our Fastlane picks, and we're going to call it a day. So let's go with the first match.
Okay, according to RDP, we got the United States Championship on the line during the pre-show. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match, and it's Kalisto, the champion, versus Alberto Del Rio. And I'm going to have to pick Alberto Del Rio in this one. He's too good of a wrestler to lose the final match out of the trilogy between him and Kalisto, and I feel like they just built him up so much when he came in, and for him to suddenly drop the title like that,